Well, we've seen all the ads for South Carolina's 1st Congressional District, currently represented by Nancy Mace. But there's another seat up for grabs, currently held by former Majority Whip and proclaimed kingmaker James Clyburn. Well, let's welcome Joe Oddo, 6th Congressional District candidate representing the Alliance Party of South Carolina. It's good to have you join us.
Thanks. I appreciate the opportunity.
So Congressman Clyburn is looking to secure a 17th term in Washington. What do you bring to the table that would make constituents vote another way?
Well, our alliance movement has a term limit, voluntary, that 12 years. We step out. So if this gentleman would have honored something like that, we would have had 3 different representatives in this district by now. And that would have allowed more proactive governance. I think right now they have an institutional stagnation that's seeping in and not letting them get anything done up there. And he's a face of the problem. So.
Tell us what the Alliance Party is all about. Now, you say that you'd want to enact term limits. That's one of the pillars of the Alliance Party, but give us a little bit more.
Well, we are citizen legislators. That's what we believe in. We're here to serve. We're not here to fill our pockets up and stay forever. We are forming alliances with other independent, like-minded candidates around the country who want to be honorable citizen legislators. And if we could come up with 6 to 8, we could change the fate of what's going on in Congress right now. 6 to 8 of us, as a fulcrum, as a coalition, would bring the other 2 sides together, and because they would need our vote. So then they'd say, oh, okay, I guess we do have to negotiate on these dozen appropriations bills that we never pass every year. We need to pass these bills. These are must-pass bills. We can't continue to operate on continuing resolutions. This is embarrassing to the way that they operate in Washington, and it's costing the taxpayers dearly. It's driving up the debt. So the Alliance is a nucleus of numerous candidates like myself. We have one other, Mike Biedenball, running here in South Carolina, upstate, and we have dozens of others that we're reaching out to form this coalition. It's all it would take, 6 to 8, to change the fate.
And you also say you want to replace Columbus Day with Election Day as a holiday, have instant runoffs, allow citizen lobbying. I'm sure, especially the latter, a lot of people would agree with that. But you founded a number of political advocacy organizations, and they vary wildly. So don't voters typically want a candidate that picks a lane and sticks to it?
Well, that's just it. I'm working with Better Ballot in South Carolina now. We have a bill that we got sponsored for instant runoff voting that allows the municipalities to choose the way they conduct their election. That's all. If a municipality wants to run an instant runoff, what will happen, people will go in, if they have 5 choices, they rank them 1 through 5, and then they count the votes until somebody gets a majority. In other words, the 5th one would drop off, they count the 2 votes. So that would save the state a ton of money on runoff elections, and it would allow more people to participate. You'll have a lot less negative campaigning. So that's just one of the many advocacy things that we've worked on over the years. Election Day, I mean, what's Columbus Day? That's a smack in the face to indigenous people. So why not change Election Day into a holiday replacing Columbus Day? It makes perfect sense.
You also say, and you also say same-day voting, but there's a bit of an issue with that. Opponents would say that same-day voting, we're talking 2 different things now, but same-day voting, for instance, you're pro, but opponents say that that could potentially lead to uninformed votes being cast.
Well, that's up to the citizens whether they want to be informed or not. There's a bigger issue of civic informant, But what we talk about is not same-day voting. It's same-day voter registration. That means if people show up at the right polling place with proper ID on Election Day, that gives everyone a chance to vote. People have the right to vote whether they're informed or not.
Right. Now, this is your 5th stab at securing an election. Have you ever filled a public office before?
Well, president of student government in college doesn't count. But I can tell you this. It's an honor to serve in this way. And I do it so that more citizens will step up and do it. See, it's kind of silly for someone like me to do this again and again, but there's the biggest voting bloc right now in the country is Generation Z, and we only have one elected member, while they represent about, I mean, if we had a representative number of those folks in Congress, there'd be 60 of them. So they're the ones that need to step up, and that's why I lead by example and say, look, I can do this, so can you.
Well, if anybody wants to support your campaign, we're going to put your information up on the screen. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate that. This is a great opportunity.
We're back in 2 minutes.